Been kind of a hard year for Disney, and it's starting to show now as they have announced massive layoffs. Now Disney warns staff they are on the brink of job cuts as the entertainment giant plans to freeze hiring as shares fell double digits and their streaming services lost $1.5 billion last quarter. A lot of that has to do with churn, stuff like that. People leave and then they come back when a new show comes on. A lot of these Marvel shows are just underwhelming. They're not putting out good stuff. I mean, and that's even their Star Wars stuff is underwhelming. I mean, I've got a lot of complaints for Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi. Both were garbage. And then you see what happened with She-Hulk. She-Hulk, very, 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 just a bad series altogether. And then when you put out all this bad content, stuff that most people seem to like that Werewolf by Night show, the series, the special, whatever it is that came out for Disney Plus, didn't even make the Nielsen top 10. Why is that? Well, a lot of the stuff that they've put on there for Marvel has just been underwhelming. A lot of it's been kind of dog shit. And when you do that, eventually people just start to tune out. Disney looks set to become the next major corporation to freeze hiring and cut jobs after a second straight quarter, losing over $1 billion. The House of Mouse reported over 235 million streaming subscribers on all platforms as Disney Plus beat Wall Street expectations by adding 12.1 billion. Despite the gains, the company continues to lose in the streaming market, nearly double year over year to 1.47 billion. Yeah, that's the thing. Look at that. They've added 12.1 million subscribers. They beat expectations, and it still wasn't enough. Chapek addressed the memo to Disney's division leaders, saying the company is instituting a targeted hiring freeze and anticipates some small staff reductions. He wrote, while certain macroeconomic factors are out of control, meeting these goals requires all of us to continue doing our part. Well, maybe you shouldn't have gotten so political over the past year. That might have helped. It might have helped quite a bit. This guy's a clown. He's a joke. Let's take a look at what they might do to kind of turn this around. How about making Brie Larson the face of the MCU? That might help. That might fix things. Brie Larson, massively popular person. Everyone loves Captain Marvel. Wouldn't you love to see her be the new Robert Downey Jr. of the MCU? Brie Larson, new Avengers leader, says rumor fits with Kevin Feige's previous comments, depending on what is getting released at the time. Now, this has been floated around for a long time, by the way. Kevin Feige has said that he wants to make Captain Marvel the face of the MCU before, and this is what makes me think that this rumor has some credibility. A new rumor claims that Brie Larson and Captain Marvel will be the new leader of the Avengers in the upcoming Avengers Kang Dynasty movie. The rumor comes from Giant Freaking Robot, who provided the recent info about the Vision Quest series coming to Disney Plus, and who also says Henry Cavill will appear as Superman in Justice League 2, and that Man of Steel 2 will erase Zack Snyder's Superman Zod ending. The site does not provide further details about Brie Larson leading a team of new Avengers in Kang Dynasty, other than stating it won't be Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America leading the team. So who else would do it? If it's not going to be Captain America, who would lead the team? Well, of course, it would be Brie Larson. The rumor might have some validity as Kevin Feige has previously said pretty much the same thing about Brie Larson and Captain Marvel in the MCU. That's funny. Like, imagine thinking this is a good business decision, thinking that Captain Marvel is going to be the one to save your franchise. The real test for this character is going to be the Marvels, that movie coming out too. And I think that movie is probably going to be a box office bomb. This might be the only time I think I make a prediction on any of these Marvel movies. Because, as I predicted, Black Panther 2 is going to do well. It's heading to a 300-plus worldwide bow for the opening weekend, which is pretty damn impressive. I don't know how anybody is saying that's a failure. That's a lot of money. I think the movie's going to make $800 million by the time it's done. That's my prediction for that movie. I think it makes $800 million. I think it makes Doctor Strange 2 money. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion, but I think it approaches Doctor Strange 2. But back to this. The Marvels is going to have, I forget her name. I forget the actress's name, but she was playing Monica Rambeau. And then you've got Miss Marvel, a series that nobody watched. And then you've got Brie Larson. Now, Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel movie, made a lot of money, but it was also sandwiched between 2 Avengers movies that propped that movie up as something you needed to see to really enjoy Endgame, and that wasn't the case. I really wonder what's going to happen. That movie got a lot of critical praise, but remember that is the movie that exposed critics with this clip right here.
Everybody in our industry occasionally has to play softball, occasionally has to, look the other way a little bit. Everybody has to do it.
Wait, returning what? Like a movie that's
in the sense that,
or?
I hated a movie, but I won't say that I hated the movie. Or an actor behaved a sort of way and you don't want to, put it out there that happened.
Right, because you might not get the next review,
right.
next gig.
So to some degree, everybody in our industry that is a part of this quote unquote access media has to sort of decide which battles they want to pick.
I love that clip because it exposes just how corrupt the entertainment industry is. And he's referring to Captain Marvel and all of the critics that were falling all over themselves to give that movie high reviews. That's what he's talking about there. So we'll see how this plays out, but I don't think the Marvels, a.k.a. Captain Marvel 2, is going to perform that well. I think it's going to be a dud because nobody gives a shit about these characters. Brie Larson is incredibly unlikable as well. So we'll see what happens. But speaking of Brie Larson, people are actually melting down over a Captain Marvel Avengers cover. I want to show you guys this. You can look at this comment here. Who the F is the editor that allows this misogynistic trash to be published? Greg Land needs to stop tracing porn, and Marvel needs to be ashamed of themselves. What a disgusting way to treat superhero women. How do you think they treat women in real life? You all suck. There's more melting down here. Repeat after me. Superhero comics are not supposed to be masturbatory fantasies for old men. What a load of trash. Oh, I found out who the editor is. What a shocking surprise. Tom Brevoort would print this crap. Some things never change. Don't they ever get tired of the misogyny? This is from the previews. The comic is out in January, apparently. Enough time to change the disgusting piece of garbage. The She-Hulk has a successful television series, and Greg Land and Tom Brevoort think it's fine to have her getting a load to the face on the cover of a book. I don't think a piece of art has sickened me to my stomach like this in a very long time. Treat women better. What is the problem? Well, it's this cover right here. So what's happening? Multiple things. Spider-Man is pretty much fighting all the Avengers, and you see Iron Man rushing for him. Thor's throwing his hammer, and it missed. Black Panther is breaking out of webbing, and She-Hulk and Captain Marvel are hit in the face with his webbing. Why is he doing that? Well, they're powerful characters, and he's hitting them with webbing to blind them. Something that he's done in the past, I don't know, when did he came out in 1963? He's been doing this for a long time. A long time. But apparently, this is misogynistic porno, because he's webbing 2 powerful characters in the face to blind them. And that is just webbing. How is this pornography? People are literally losing their minds over this, by the way. You see this here from Comics Guy, Greg Land, WTF. And these are the strongest characters. Now, you see T'Challa's breaking out of the webbing. So he's webbing up the strongest characters there to give them a disadvantage and blind them. By blinding them, he can maneuver around them a little bit easier because they're very powerful. I don't think anything is going on here intentionally, especially from modern Marvel. Let's be serious for a second. modern Marvel would never do this. They would maybe do it to a man, try to make the man look sexualized, but they wouldn't do it to the women. It's just people finding nothing and freaking out about it. But this is the audience that they cater to now. So, I mean, you reap what you sow, I guess. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and my locals. And I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.